to be one of the best ever, if not the best crop of amateurs the NHL has ever seen. Let's rejoin Don Whitman.
And David, further to trade speculation, Lou Nanne and Cliff Fletcher, Minnesota and Calgary, respectively, were together just a moment ago. I also saw Cliff Fletcher talking with Kent Nielsen's agent, Don Baisley. So perhaps there is some rumor of Kent Nielsen going to Minnesota that may materialize before this draft ends. Jim Gregory is the director of Central Scouting. His work comes to fruition today. Your book put out on all the players. You've been a most sought-after man the last few days by all clubs.
Well, Don, we do as many interviews with the teams as we can about the information that we put out in our book, and we try to help them in any possible way we can.
Do they try to get any inside information on individual players, perhaps indicating who they might be after, first, second, or third choice?
Well, we have to be as neutral as possible, and we try not to divulge any conversations we have with one organization or the other, but these fellows do their homework very well, so they don't usually need much help with that kind of thing from us.
It takes a tremendous amount of work to compile a book on all the players available for the draft.
Well, we travel all over the world, as you know. I've been with you on a few trips, and our staff see between 175 and 300 games each, and at the end of the year, we've probably seen close to 4,000 games.
All right, Jim Gregory, well, this afternoon's going to be a busy afternoon, and you have compiled your list of the top 5 players. Sports Weekend has its own list of the top 5.
Sports Weekend's top 5, some of the best available in this year's draft. One of them is defenseman Dana Merzen, number 24 from the Calgary Wranglers. And all-star and top scorer amongst Western League defensemen, Merzen has spent 2 seasons with the Calgary Wranglers. Canadian fans became aware of Wendel Clark when he helped Canada to a gold medal in the World Junior Championships in January. A defenseman and sometime left winger, Clark played for the Western League's Saskatoon Blades. He's a tough competitor, amassing 250 minutes in penalties. He scored 32 goals and was named the WHL's top defenseman. Craig Simpson has finished his sophomore year at Michigan State University. The leading scorer in his conference, Simpson's skating ability has been questioned, but never his ability to make plays. Simpson, who hails from London, Ontario, led the Spartans to a 27-5 one-loss record. Jim Sandlak is a rugged right winger from the London Knights of the OHL. He played for Canada's team at the World Junior Tournament and scored 40 goals for the Knights, where he shifted to the unfamiliar center ice position for part of the season. The first American drafted could be Craig Wolanin from Detroit, Michigan. A rugged defenseman, Wolanin played for the Ontario League's Kitchener Rangers. His size and strength combined with skating ability make Craig Wolanin a sought-after defenseman. Sports Weekend's top 5 in 85.
The draft consists of 12 rounds, 21 selections in each round. The teams that did not make the playoffs in inverse order of finish, the Toronto Maple Leafs with first pick, and then the 16 teams in the playoffs in the reverse order of finish, Philadelphia with the final choice. The Toronto Maple Leafs with the number 1 selection. Let's take a look at some of the other Leaf choices over the years.
The Leafs used their first-round pick in 1970 to select Darryl Sittler, who's played 15 seasons in the NHL with over 1,000 points. In 72, they took George Ferguson from the Marlies. He spent 6 seasons with Toronto, then went to Pittsburgh and Minnesota. Lanny McDonald out of Medicine Hat was selected in 73 after 6.5 years in Toronto. He moved on and is now in Calgary. Jack Balakat of the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds had just led the OHL in scoring when drafted in 1974 by Toronto. The late Don Ashby was a 50-goal scorer out of Calgary when drafted by the Leafs in 1975. Left winger John Anderson was the Toronto top selection in 77. He's played 7 seasons, all with the Leafs. In 1978, Joel Quenneville out of Windsor was the Leafs' top pick. He now plays for the Hartford Whalers. Laurie Boschman, a high-scoring hard rock center from Brandon, was the top pick in 79. Boschman now plays with the Winnipeg Jets. In 81, with the 6th pick, Toronto selected the Western League's top defenseman, Jim Benning of Portland. And the next year took the Western League's top defenseman again, Gary Nyland, also out of Portland. Russ Courtnall, a shifty center from Victoria, was Toronto's choice in the first round of the '83 draft. He's just completed his rookie season, as has their first pick from last year. Al Iafrate was 4th overall in last year's NHL draft.
For the 5th consecutive year, the Maple Leafs have a pick in the top 10, and for the first time ever, they have the #1 overall pick in the NHL entry draft. Will they or will they not use it to select Central Scouting's #1 prospect, Craig Simpson of Michigan State? We'll find out shortly as we return to the NHL entry draft on CBC Sports Weekend in a moment.
Back at the Metro Toronto Convention Center with Draft Day 85 just about set to get underway. And a few moments ago, I suggested that Minnesota and Calgary were talking. We understand that a deal has been made. Kent Nielsen will go to Minnesota for Minnesota's 2nd-round draft choice. The draft is about set to get underway. Let's now go to Dave Hodge.
Well, the Minnesota North Stars are without a first-round selection. They traded it this past season to the New York Islanders for Roland Melanson. This is the way the first round looks at this point. The Leafs, Pittsburgh, New Jersey, Vancouver, and Hartford. Then the Islanders in Minnesota's spot, and the Rangers. Detroit, Los Angeles has 2 picks. The Boston pick coming for Charlie Simmer. Chicago and the Montreal choice is because of the deal made earlier this morning for Mark Hunter with the St. Louis Blues. Then the Islanders' 2nd pick in the first round, and Buffalo and the remainder of round #1, Quebec, Montreal, Calgary, Winnipeg, Washington, Stanley Cup champion Edmonton, and Philadelphia, the regular season leaders in the NHL. Now let's go to the podium and the president of the NHL, John Ziegler.
To all the hockey fans, wherever you may be, welcome to the National Hockey League's 1985 entry draft. We've had a great week in Toronto in this beautiful Metropolitan Convention Center. Today is the day that careers begin. Today is the day that our teams pick for the future. We hope and we're pleased that all of you here in the Convention Center and those with us on television can join in appreciating the tension and the excitement that goes with this very difficult but very exciting event. For the last 8 years, the person who has conducted this draft and has helped make it grow to the kind of event that it is our Vice President, Executive Vice President, Mr. Brian O'Neill. I'd ask Brian to come forward now, and we'll let the draft begin. Brian?
Thank you very much, Mr. Ziegler. I think we can start right into the proceedings of this draft. There will be 12 rounds. The first order of claim is the Toronto Maple Leafs.
The Toronto Maple Leafs are very happy to select Wendel Clark from Saskatoon.
Well, Don Whitman is ready to talk to this year's #1 man, Wendel Clark. A bit of a surprise. Those
Toronto Maple Leafs have selected Wendel Clark.
They would take Dana Mercer.
Saskatoon.
Wendel, congratulations.
One of the 3, and they did.
I would ask our clubs to provide.
Follow up with that. Here's Don with Wendel Clark.
To the runner.
Wendel, congratulations on being chosen #1. Did you have any last-minute feelings that perhaps you would be #1?
No, it was all up in the air. Nobody in the top 3 really know where they're going to go or what they're going to do, so it was a big moment, and as big as me as anybody, I guess.
Well, I got a bit of a hint just before the draft when Jim Gregory said, good luck. I got a feeling that maybe he had an idea that you were going to go to Toronto.
Yeah, it was a great moment, I guess.
Wendel, I saw you play at Helsinki at the World Tournament. You earned a reputation there as being a versatile individual. You also delivered one of the really punishing checks of that tournament against Czechoslovakia.
Yeah, that was I guess a big thing in my career. That was the biggest tournament I've ever been doing. The biggest moment up till now in my life.
What do you think you'll be able to add to the Toronto Maple Leafs?
I just hope to do my best and hope to help the club.
Well, you've got that Toronto Maple Leaf sweater there, and you're going to make your way over to the Toronto Maple Leaf table now. There are many media types there. It's going to be a very busy afternoon for you, a very exciting day for you as well.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, Wendel Clark, the #1 draft choice, ready to go to the Toronto Maple Leaf table.
All right, Don, that makes 4 most valuable defensemen from the Western Hockey League that are now on the roster of the Toronto Maple Leafs, as the Pittsburgh Penguins, it appears now, are set to select
Craig Simpson. They'll be happy. The Penguins will be happy with this turn of events.
From the #1 city in the United States, Pittsburgh is happy to announce their #1 draft choice from Michigan State, Craig Simpson.
Now the question is, can they get him to turn pro immediately, or will he return to Michigan State for 1 or 2 more years and maybe eventually to the Canadian Olympic team? It is his choice, and the negotiations will begin almost immediately, I guess.
No question about that. Craig Simpson doesn't have an agent because if he gets one, then he is ineligible to play college. So there he is right now with Don.
Craig, congratulations on being the #2 choice of the Pittsburgh Penguins, and I understand you're one of the few players in this draft who don't have an agent.
No, I'm not. Due to eligibility reasons, I haven't been in contact with agents yet.
There were some people that suggested that you still had several options open to you, that you might not even turn pro this year.
I think I definitely have options open to me, but I'm really looking forward to the Pittsburgh situation. I look forward to hopefully making a deal in this coming year.
Well, Eddie Johnson is looking forward to shaking your hand, and good luck to you.
Thank you, Ray.
This has been fantastic. It's a great day for us, and we've talked to him quite often, and we just never thought he was going to be there, and we're just ecstatic that just a great boy and a great family, and we're just thrilled as hell.
#1 choice last year in Lemieux, and a lot of people seem to think that Simpson was really the #1 player this year.
Well, we think that way, and we're very happy to have him.
All right. Good luck, Eddie.
Thank you.
Good luck, Craig.
Thank you very much.
Well, it's an emotional day for the Simpson family. From London, Ontario, Dave Simpson is a former Canadian Major Junior Player of the Year. He was drafted by the New York Islanders, but has never played in the NHL.
New Jersey claims from Kitchener, Craig Wolanin.
New Jersey claims Craig Wolanin.
The first American-born player to go in this draft. He is a defenseman from the Kitchener Rangers. You see how big he is. He has had just 1 year of major junior experience in the Ontario Hockey League. He is out of the Detroit CompuWare midget system, which has sent all sorts of players to the National Hockey League, Pat LaFontaine being one that we can talk about. And Craig Wolanin is now property of the New Jersey Devils and is with Don Whitman.
Craig, congratulations. You're going to the New Jersey Devils. Did you have any prior preference as to where you might go?
No, it's just an honor to be picked in the NHL, let alone, being 3rd overall. It's really exciting for me, and I guess I'm glad it's over.
Craig, did you have a sleepless night last night? Let's go around this way, try and find our way over to the table.
Yeah, it was pretty sleepless, and me and Danny Granton got to bed about 4 in the morning, but I'm just glad it's all over, and it's quite a relief, and I'm happy to be a New Jersey Devil.
Well, you're